What's going on, everyone? My name's Tenebris Infinite, and today we had a crazy developer stream from the team of Generation Zero, where we got to touch base with the lead developer of the game, Bjorn, the absolute legend in the flesh. This dude has overseen Generation Zero since before its launch, so safe to say having a stream where we could send in our questions was super exciting. So, through this video, I'm gonna break down that stream and talk about all the crazy stuff we learned, from future updates to how Bjorn's feeling about the game here in 2022, planned fixes and things the team are investigating, and just so much more. So buckle up, my dudes, this is going to be a jam-packed video. So after some really quick introductions, we dove right into the juicy bits, and we started talking about how Bjorn sees base defense and base building itself evolving and expanding in the future.
What is your thoughts on the future of bases, Bjorn? Do you think we will expand more on them, or what new base features can we maybe expect? We would really love to hear your opinion on that.
Yeah, sure. The bases are super exciting, I think, because we kind of, it's something we added quite recently, and also now, first we added that players can build bases, but now also Phoenix can build bases. So I think that there is a huge potential for evolving this feature going forward. And the first thing that I think we already have on the public roadmap is that we're going to add more control points, so that we give you even more places to attack and also build bases on.
It makes a lot of sense in that direction to kind of move in. Because
so
people are asking,
that.
yeah, then that's what, like, when people are talking about bases, they're like, we want to build more, we want to have more spots where we can build them. So this is right on point.
Yeah, definitely. And with the latest update, we got in total 8 control points in the forest region. And the plan going forward is to add control points to other regions as well, so that you can build your bases and do all the Phoenix attacks in other regions.
I'm so excited for that. Oh,
yeah, me too. That's going to be
amazing.
absolutely insane cool.
Which, that's awesome. It kind of confirms my suspicions from my latest video where I was talking about how things feel really built up here in the forest region, and it feels like with what we're going to be focusing on next for the next region revamps, as well as our own base building and base defense, we'll be focused on other regions as opposed to the one that we've been focused on for a while here now. We'll have to see if I'm on the money about it being the North Coast region in the future, but beyond that...
Yeah, beyond that, we're also looking into adding more things for you to build. So that's definitely something that we're interested in doing. And then, the possibilities are endless. So let us know what you want us to do with this.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, it's usually just the imagination that sets limits. So we're always very, very happy to hear what our players want to see.
And you dudes know me, I've got quite a few ideas in store here. Now, this next bit is really, really spicy, especially if you're concerned about the Iron Church.
What's more likely, Iron Church DLC or Soviet DLC? I, for one, if I could choose Iron Church DLC, it would
Definitely
be
Iron
very
Church.
funny, yeah.
Which one would you like, Bjorn?
It's a really tricky one. I think both are very interesting. So that's another one where we like to know what you guys think. There's so many narrative paths we could go. So there's so many open threads now in Generation Zero. So there's a lot of potential for telling different stories.
And I just gotta say for a real quick second, I super respect how humble Bjorn is. He's sitting right now on an absolute gold mine. He knows it. He knows that there's crazy things in store for Generation Zero for us, and he's just like, oh yeah, there's some narrative threads we could follow. Man! So this next one will be a good answer for any of you dudes that are curious about crossplay in the future of Generation Zero.
This is a question that pops up quite a lot, because we do have crossplay between Xbox and Windows 10. But do you think that we will see any more cross-platform features in the future?
Yeah, We added crossplay between those two platforms, but something we also learned from that was that it's very hard to do. It's a huge technical challenge. So unfortunately, I don't see us doing any more crossplay anytime soon.
Which is very understandable. Crossplay, as Bjorn said, is a huge technical issue, a huge technical problem to solve. And the thing about the Microsoft Store and the Xbox version is that there's a lot of framework that's already built between those two to make them compatible with crossplay. So I think right now for us as a community, it's probably a good call to let crossplay rest a little bit and let the team just kind of focus on other things. Crossplay is super awesome to have in a video game, but it's totally not the make or break of what makes a video game good.
So Bjorn, this is also a question that we got because people always want new toys to play with. They wanna shoot, explode, blow stuff up in all kind of different ways. So do you think that we're ever gonna see more experimental weapons in the future?
Yeah, experimental weapons is something that we definitely seen that players of the game love. So I definitely think that's something that we're gonna do more of. It's the priorities again. We need to find the time slot to do it, basically.
And there's already so much stuff on the horizon.
Oh yeah.
If you guys haven't seen the roadmap yet, definitely go check out the Twitter or Facebook or your social media of choice. Pontus just updated it. It looks great.
Yeah, we shared it on Friday, so it's brand spanking new. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff. There's especially one thing that's been a very big thing that people have been asking for, and that we're actually working on now, and that is the skill respec. And that I think is exciting to a lot of people.
So, two big things. More experimental weapons. They'll come when they come, but it's definitely something that the team are going to be working on in the future. And I think it's not a matter of like, will it happen? It's just a matter of when it will happen. But then beyond that, the skill respec, we talked about this last Friday, or maybe it was Saturday, because I kind of missed the day that the news came out. But we talked about this previously, and now we've had a little bit more advancement, and Bjorn spilled a little bit of spicy details on what our respec is going to look like.
Yeah, I guess I could share a bit details about it. Like, there's going to be a cost in crafting resources for doing it, because we want there to be, we want to have a bit of meaning when you change it, so there has to be a little bit of a cost, but it's not going to be super high.
Which is awesome. I kind of actually wanted the respec system to have a little bit of maybe a grind to it, maybe a brand new resource that we have to utilize for it or something like that. Something unique about the respec to just make it have a little bit more worth here in the world of Generation Zero. And it's awesome to hear that the team is like already on that. So this next one's really important to folks like me that really enjoy the S21 and Kotenhawk, but would like to see them serve a greater purpose here in Generation Zero.
Just a minute ago. But we also have a lot of other weapons. Do you think that we will ever see maybe some rework of old weapons? Maybe do a buff or a nerf or something?
Or a new model?
Yeah, it is a questions that are quite frequent here, so it would be very interesting to hear kind of your take on that and kind of remaking older stuff and kind of change the way they work.
Yeah, like it's definitely possible. It's like everything else. We have to prioritize what we're doing, so that there's always going to be, we have to divide our work between tweaking old things and working on new things. So yeah, we've seen that there is feedback on some of the weapons, so they're definitely something we're gonna look into. And then there might also be, besides feedback on particular weapons, there could also be bigger changes to other systems that at some point we need to look at rebalancing weapons as a whole. But that's, yeah, we'll see what happens.
And this one's crazy. That one is crazy. Out of all the things, that one is a hot tamale. No, but seriously, it's really cool to hear that the team might actually be readdressing weapons as a whole in the future of Generation Zero. That's massive and crazy, and has me stoked to see what's going to happen in the future here. Are we going to see things go upwards? Are we going to see all the weapons do, like, more, I guess, realistic damage? Or are we going to see things get nerfed backwards in order to provide maybe a more fulfilling combat experience or more imposing machines? It's really hard to say at this point, but that is a heck of a bombshell, dudes. Now, this next bit of news and information is actually a godsend to all of us out here that have been experiencing issues with the base assault feature.
So Indo had a bit of an interesting question here that we heard a lot regarding just the base spawns. We are seeing some kind of trouble there that we're looking at, right? Do you have maybe a little bit more information on that? How we're doing?
Yeah, we've seen that there is some reports on that bases are not spawning as intended. So we have the team is investigating this. So we're trying to figure out what's causing this and if we can find a fix for it.
And dudes, if there was anything that I wanted to hear, like really wanted to hear desperately from this developer stream with the lead developer here, that was it. The team is looking into the issue. Hopefully, please, hotfix at some point. But if not, maybe by the next update, we'll see the system working as it should and as intended for all of us out here. And dudes, console players rejoice!
In reference to the weapon wheel, because on controllers right now it's a bit hard to select weapons with weapon wheel, because there's no dead zone.
Uh-oh, get back to
Yeah.
control point.
I've seen this as well. We are aware of this feedback, so I think we're looking into some sort of solution for this.
So it's really nice to hear that the team is looking into the weapon wheel for consoles. I do think that there's a few more kinks to be worked out with it, but that the system as a whole is a huge step forwards for Generation Zero. And once we get the system totally perfect and like ironed out and everything like that, I feel like console players are going to very much enjoy the weapon wheel over the old system that we had.
But what kind of part of the decision process for the base assault update took you the longest? I think it's a very interesting question to kind of say, alright, where do we actually spend the time when we do these updates? So I would just love to hear that.
Yeah, it's definitely, especially for the base assault, it's a very different feature. It was the first time we tried to do procedural generation on this scale, so I think most of the time was spent kind of prototyping the feature before we even started like finalizing and adding the correct art. So there was a lot of going back and forth between design and code and trying different algorithms and try to see what works and what makes for fun bases to play. So that was the big, I think, thing that took time with base assault in the beginning.
And man, I can wholeheartedly say here from the user end that the procedural generation of the Phoenix bases, it's unprecedented how fun it is. The varying factors, the multiple uses of Phoenix bases, the emergent gameplay that comes from it, genius. One of the best additions to Generation Zero so far. This next question was a really good one, asking Pontus where he saw Generation Zero going and the game going within the span of next year.
Where do you see Generation Zero in a year? It's a bit of a weird one, I gotta say, because we're really kind of dependent on what our players want to do, but I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the hardest questions that we got, because a year is a very long time and game development is unpredictable. But I can say a bit what I hope that we can arrive at. yeah, so we have added a lot of cool things lately, as you all know, with base assault, base defense, and a new faction. And yeah, and a lot of other things as well in these patches when it comes to the narrative and world building, etc. So what I hope that we will be able to do during the next year is to just build upon this and try to make it even more cool than it is now.
That's gonna be hard though.
Yeah.
How do you make something that's 100% cool even more?
Exactly. Yeah, but and also like you said, like our roadmap is kind of always evolving, and it's a lot based on what we see from the community and surveys and also from the forums, etc.
And man, I am ready to see Generation Zero hit the 101% mark on being cool, 110,000% mark on being cool, man. No, but seriously, that is the potential of Generation Zero. Like, just unlimited potential in being mysterious, intriguing, engaging, cool, explosive. Generation Zero can be all of it and then some. But the hits don't stop, man! The next question was actually one I sent in personally. And again, huge thank you to Pontus for fielding the community questions from myself and many others before we got into this stream. I think that it made for a really, really, like, crazy stream here.
How do you feel about Generation Zero here in 2022? Have things gone as planned? Stories of being adapted from past years, stuff like that. What do you kind of feel about the GC today?
Yeah, so as you know, last year was a bit troubling because we failed to release patches on the regular basis that we want. But this year I think has been a lot better. We've been able to basically keep the roadmap so far. And we also released some really amazing things that I think adds a lot to the game. So yeah, this year looks really good so far, and yeah, I think it's gonna hopefully continue to be that.
And this is just really reassuring to hear. 2021 was a hard year, and I just wanted to kind of touch base and just go like, is everything okay? Are you guys like stoked? Are you stoked for 2022? And it was just really good to get that confirmation there.
Accident. Nice accident. Want to take the chance to let you know how much I celebrate your game. Great sound design. I'm happy you're still adding value. That's so nice.
That is so nice. Yeah. One from Indo, which is he's always here. One of our absolute favorite community members. So about the schematics, is it known that some of the schematics are currently unobtainable?
I think we fixed some of them with the latest patch, but there was there was that I saw that there was a bug with that kind of puzzle that we added. So that's one of the things that we're looking into, where you're supposed to open a door using a computer.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
But I think they were referring to the experimental HCDP ML, maybe not the experimental one, but it's definitely one of the rocket propelled grenades schematics that's currently stuck under the floor.
Yes.
But yeah, we are aware of that one.
Yeah, let us know if there are more things like that.
And I think that this is a good window into kind of like how the development works for Generation Zero. There's a lot of things happening all in tandem, all at the same time. And sometimes it can be hard to readdress bugs and issues that show up. Even in the case of something that's widely reported, like the HEDP schematic underneath the floor at the IGA facility, even though this has been reported a lot, it shows that the team has their eyes on much bigger things. There's other things going on too, and so the fact that it's a small development team and they have to kind of split their efforts between developing future things and bug fixing and doing it all at the same time, this is just kind of a window into that. Because I think sometimes it can be hard on our end as the users, as the players of the game, to understand how split things are and like where the effort is being focused and stuff, and that just makes sense. Otherwise, we'd know everything that was going to happen.
So this is actually also a question that Tenebris sent to us, which is maybe not make so much sense right now, but maybe Bjorn can answer it anyway. Machine to human body modification. Will this be in Generation Zero's future?
Cyborgs?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think there was a peek at some kind of cyborg dress or something like that.
Yeah, so I think that's a super interesting concept. It's nothing that we have planned for the near future, but if we see that there is interest in that, that might be something that we look into.
I directly start to think of the power suit, or the power armor rather.
Yeah, like
From
that's
Fallout?
more.
For Fallout,
Like-
yes.
Yeah, it's more like an exoskeleton then. Whereas I think this might be more like cybernetics or something.
Ooh.
Why not
Something
both?
like that.
Exactly. I mean,
But yeah, blow up all the Generation Zero social pages and tell us that you would like to see that. And
yeah.
more people do that, the higher the chances.
So dudes, I already started the petition. The petition is live up on the forums. You can pop on over there, post a vote, maybe post a comment if you have any ideas about machine body modification and what that could be like. Go post it on the forums. This is something I already had planned on like really promoting here for Generation Zero, because I think it will be crazy if we see it happen. So yeah, dudes, more on that in the future, but for now, we got that forum post to get things started.
Yeah, definitely. That's something we also seen. There is a lot of interest in it, so it's definitely something that we're gonna look into.
What would be your, if you didn't have to consider the balance of the game, what would be a vehicle you'd put in the game to drive?
Yeah,
Please say
good one.
Flockmoppe.
Flakmoppe.
I mean, thinking about the theme, like a hoverboard or something.
Oh, yes.
Yes, that would be also absolutely amazing. And you would find it next to the Saab DeLorean there.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, hoverboards? Come on, man, let's freaking go! I would so love to rip around on a hoverboard and, like, maybe you could, like, shoot from it while you're riding it, because, like, your hands are kind of freed up. Dude, I think a hoverboard would be really cool. So this next question, again, was fielded from me, and again, thank you so much, Pontus, for taking so many of my questions here. I really appreciate it. But the question was in regards to the current approaches to optimization, where I'm sure everyone's noticed it, the pop-in, pop-out of buildings, and the render distance and stuff like that. So here's what Bjorn had to say on it.
We got a good one here, actually. New approaches to optimization. Will high-end PC and next-gen players have to deal with low render distances for the sake of the game's performance?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I think some of you might have noticed that we did some performance optimizations in the latest patch. And yeah, it's basically because we had low frame rates on some of the low spec machines, like the previous gen consoles. But yeah, I think it's unfortunate that it's making it's kind of degrading the experience if you have a high-end system. So something that we're looking into right now is make a setting for this.
Which is totally great to hear. You dudes know my stance on the performance of Generation Zero. Personally, for me, even though the culling is like visually apparent and stuff, for me the optimization of the game comes first and foremost, and the performance of Generation Zero comes first and foremost, alongside progression. And so to hear that the team is going to look into things and how they can work with higher end consoles and stuff is more than relieving enough for me, and it's just something where I want to say here, like, zero pressure to the team. First and foremost, performance, and then once we get that knuckled out, then maybe we could look at all the bells and whistles for the higher end platforms. So next up, a viewer asked about whether or not we would see more NPC interaction, and I believe it was specifically related towards our base defense as well.
Don't have the near future roadmap, but I think that's a really cool idea. So yeah, let us know if you're excited about that.
Yeah, I think we could do a lot more with NPCs, because Generation Zero in the beginning, it was all, you know, all dead people, and then we added some NPCs with the DLCs, and I think there's way more.
So hold the phone! What is going on in Pontus's building inventory here? He has so many more decoration things. Let's take a look at this. So there is so much here. Holy heck. We have what looks like maybe an impaled machine right beside the bush. I'm not too sure what's next up after that. That looks like a crazy thing. Maybe that is from the Phoenix bases? I'm not too sure. Then we have a spotlight, and beside that, what looks like a jukebox. We might finally be able to listen to the music tracks that we've collected from like 3 years ago. That's so hype, dude. And then the next two things, potentially barbed wire, and the other one is, again, a machine mounted onto just a couple sticks there. An outhouse. We can finally drop dookies at the
room to expand on that now that we're evolved.
And then here we've got, like, it looks like chain link stuff is going to be coming to the game, dude!
And that we're building up the resistance, don't you agree?
Yeah, definitely. There could be, like, if you look at it from a lore perspective, you already have NPCs in your base, but they're kind of hiding in turrets and things. So
that is true.
But yeah, it would be a pretty big thing from a development standpoint to add.
So yeah, NPCs, it would be really cool if they came to bases. Technically, we do already have NPCs at our bases in our pillboxes and rocket turrets and stuff, but that building stuff, dude, that's got me way more interested. So then after that, we just kind of closed off the stream as we all chatted away, but I just gotta say, again, this was such an awesome opportunity to sit there and chat it out with one of the developers from Generation Zero, and the lead developer at that. And I really, really enjoyed these opportunities to just ask the team how they're doing, see what's going on in their world, and how things are developing. Some spicy hints, and man, did we get some spicy hints today. And like just everything. So I'm looking forward to future opportunities for us to hang out with Bjorn and maybe hang out with other team members as well from the Generation Zero team. But for now, my dudes, let's quickly round up things because there is a lot that went on in this video. So through this stream, we learned of new control points and base locations coming to the game sometime soon, hopefully. We also got, like, just some very solid, reinforcement that community input matters when it comes to new experimentals, machine body modifications, what we're going to see with our base building, and everything else. Community input very much matters to the Generation Zero team and will have a huge role in how things play out in the future. Then we also got some confirmation on some schematic fixes, but those will kind of happen as they happen. Then we got some confirmation on base assault fixes and how that's being looked into, as well as console controls. Then, hoverboard? Come on, dude, hoverboard! No, but in the end, I really think that it's awesome that the team is hearing the feedback that we want a new vehicle outside of our cycle to utilize for traversing across Ostertorn here. And so, a hoverboard sounds like it'll be pretty cool, but maybe Flakmup? Who knows? But then next up, we've got more optimizations, and my kind of pressing question about whether or not high-end users were going to have to kind of suffer the optimizations for a little bit. And the confirmation on that is yes, we will, but in the end, I think that that is the best thing overall for the entirety of Generation Zero. Then, next up, NPCs at bases, which that'll be pretty cool. I'm very interested to see how that all will expand and how the NPC realm of Generation Zero will expand as the years go on. But then, lastly, the sneaky new buildables that were in Pontus's inventory there. So much stuff, man. It explains the 30-minute video. But if you made it to this point, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you're hyped for everything that's going to come in Generation Zero's future. Stay awesome, my dudes. Happy hump day, and I will catch you all in the next one. Until then, peace.